Coming up Friday night on the KMA video stream in Class 1A District 8, Treynor and Underwood. I've got the call alongside Keith Christensen, and we're talking now with Underwood head coach Nate McKelson. Coach, of course, big matchup, but you go back to last week, a dominant start, overall a dominant game, at least it looked like from my perspective, in a win over Shenandoah. Tell me about that win and what you liked.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this was a week where we start fast. I didn't feel like really, other than week one, honestly against Van Meter, we haven't had really a game where we started very fast. To our kids' credit, we did that. We jumped out really early. Didn't have the greatest first possession offensively, but got a turnover right away defensively, and that kind of led to some better play all around. So we stressed the importance of starting fast. And we did that, and I thought we were pretty efficient the rest of the night, and by the end of the night, got quite a few players to get in the game.
Yeah, offensively, it was like 49-0 or whatever at halftime, so that's a sign that the offense was clicking. And I know there were some maybe new pieces to the offense this year. Speak to the growth that you've seen from that unit to week one to where we are now through 5 weeks.
Well, I think we've seen a lot of growth. I think maybe the difference this year, unlike maybe some years past, is we've had to be really good right away. We're not going to win football games. Like last year, we obviously started out against Lewis Central, and offensively, we were more than tested, obviously. But this week, it's been kind of a gauntlet of ranked opponents or really good opponents kind of right out of the gate. So, we've had to be as efficient. We've kind of had to grow up in some places right away. And I think it's made us better in the long run. All those we've been, more unsuccessful this year just because of the quality of opponent, I think. And that's kind of caused us to grow in a lot of ways. And I hope it's going to prepare us for the back half of the schedule, because we're going to need to be clicking on all cylinders. But I think we started to show some signs of pretty efficient play on Friday night.
Another shutout, second in 5 games, and a couple of other really, really good performances in there against good offenses. What'd you like from that side of the ball? What have you liked from that side of the ball?
I was really pleased with our coverage this week. We kind of stressed, I think the kid from Shenandoah threw for over 200 yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns against Missouri Valley the week before. So we knew that they had some capable receivers and obviously a good quarterback. So we told our secondary that they would be tested this week, and they were. And I thought they played their best game of the year in terms of understanding some of the route concepts we wanted them to know, and kind of being where they needed to be. And I think we got 3 picks there, and might have had 3 picks in the first half anyway. So our defensive backfield, I thought, really, really stepped up and made some progress Friday night. I've been pretty happy with the front 7 for most of the year. We did, we kind of, I didn't think we played our best against Avoca. We kind of they did more damage on the ground than we'd like to see. So it was nice for them to come back and kind of hold Shenandoah at bay in the run game a little bit. So overall, like you said, I think that's another unit that's just kind of gelling together, and everybody is getting better week by week, and we're going to need to do that going forward if we want to continue to be successful.
Talking with Underwood head football coach Nate McKelson, a big one with Treynor this week, and as well as anybody, it doesn't matter the sport or the event. When Underwood and Treynor get together, it brings out the best, right? So in this one, maybe amplified because of how both teams have played coming in. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Yeah, it's a fun matchup. Obviously a matchup that I think both teams look forward to every single year. I think this is my 16th year overall at Underwood, coaching football, and we played them every single year, and it's one that I think both teams probably circle in the preseason schedule and as a big one. And it's just, I think it comes down to just it's obviously the big rivalry, but it's respect within the programs. Obviously, we have tremendous respect for Jeff and their program and what they do, and you're right. You can throw out the record books. You can throw out whatever's happened in the past. It's always fun to get to line up against those guys. And just so happens this year we got two really good football teams that are going to play on Friday night, which probably amplifies it a little bit more.
They've got some really good athletes and have some good playmakers and an electric offense. Same could be said about your team. So speak to, and I know you don't want to give away like the game plan, right? But speak to the chess match that kind of comes with trying to limit what they can do offensively while also utilizing the playmakers that you guys have.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you kind of have to do that on a week-in, week-out basis, and it makes it more difficult, obviously, when your opponent has, multiple people that can hurt you. So I think, just kind of like we did against Avoca, I think, with some of their really special athletes as well, I think you've got to be a fine line between what you're going to take away and paying too much attention to one single person and not let somebody else, get loose or beat you that way. So I think we'll have to develop some sort of plan where, we're in position all over the field. We feel like we've got some playmakers on both sides of the ball that can step up and make plays when their number's called. So we'll try to put them both offensively and defensively in the best position to succeed. And at the end of the day, obviously they'll have their plan, we'll have ours, and it's going to come down to just players making plays on Friday, and that'll be fun to see it through.
What do you think is the most important key for your team on Friday?
I just think, not getting caught up in the moment. I think it's going to be a big game. They're coming in undefeated. We're coming in obviously only one loss. Both teams will be ranked somewhere within the top 10 in the state. I just think, kind of not making it more than it is on our end. We need to, obviously stick to what our game plan is and understand what we need to do to be successful. And I think our kids have been in a lot of our kids have been in some big games, and hopefully that they can carry over some of that into Friday night's game. But I think just doing what we've been doing, growing each week on both sides of the ball. Offensively being able to run and pass the ball, I think is key. Defensively, being able to stop the run, I think is very key. If you can make offenses one-dimensional, I think obviously it just makes it easier defensively. And I think special teams wise, I mean their special teams scored 2 touchdowns on Friday night, so and that can win you football games. So we got to be locked in all 3 phases, and if we don't play our best game of the year on Friday, then we'll have a number.
Looking forward to it again. It's Nate McKelson, head football coach at Underwood. Coach, appreciate the time today, and best of luck on Friday.
Thanks, Trevor.
Underwood Treynor coming up Friday night on the KMA video stream. I've got the call of that alongside Keith Christensen. Looking forward to a big matchup in Class 1A District 8, and we are talking now with Treynor head coach Jeff Casey. Coach, 5-0 on the year, and I know it's been far from easy to get there, but what are kind of the thoughts? How are you feeling about what your team has been able to do up to this point?
Yeah, you nailed it there by saying far from easy, but that's what we needed. It's what we wanted. We needed to be tested. We needed to play some of these close games. And, we needed to see how the kids would respond in some difficult situations. And I would say, looking back, especially on Friday against the HSTW, that was a gritty win. And our kids found a way to come out with the win. And so I was really proud of them. Like I said, I think that'll pay dividends here as we continue to go through the season.
Yeah, and with that HSTW win, down 2 scores at one point to a really good team on the road at that as well. And I know some injuries that they kind of forced some lineup changes as well. For this group to still find a way to come back and win a game like that, what does that say? How big of a moment is that for this team?
Yeah, it's huge. It tested our mental toughness, and we needed something to like I said, we needed a challenge. We needed something to test us, see how we'd respond. And I really, when I look back to kind of where we were at this summer, we went to some team camps. I questioned out loud to the kids our mental toughness and in some cases our physical toughness as well. And so to see where we're at now, 2 months later, it's been a huge improvement. And so it was, it's the next man up mentality that, it's pretty common. A lot of people have that mentality. But in some situations it was, wasn't necessarily next man up. It was like, we got to find a guy, we got to move him around and come up with some things on the fly. But people picking up the slack and covering up where maybe we had some holes due to some situations, and full team effort. So Friday was one of those things where we needed everybody, and it was again another 3-phase game for us.
Yeah, and kind of along those lines, I know you've talked with us at different points this year about the offense and how it's grown in year 2 of changing things up, and the defense and how it was really, really stingy through the first couple of weeks. But it seemed like a big night for the special teams on Friday to put together a complete game like that. As a football coach, I mean, that's about just the way you draw it up, right?
It really is. And I talked to Ethan after the game Friday. We spend a huge amount of time on special teams at practice. It's one of those non-negotiables. I have a short list of non-negotiables as a coach. Special teams is one of them. We're gonna spend time every single day doing something related to special teams, and it's not a 5-minute period. It's a big chunk of time. So when I do practice schedules, like off the top, I'm carving off X amount of minutes or however many periods we're doing special teams today, because I know we're going to do it. We start every practice with it. We do it in the middle of practice. We do it at the end of practice. So for those guys to come up big, and we had talked about it before the game that we were due for something big in special teams, and to have those 2 punt blocks, both resulting in immediate touchdowns, was turning point, saved the game for us, really.
You're talking Jeff Casey, head football coach at Treynor. Now on to Underwood. Of course, they're playing some really, really good ball as well. And, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Basketball, baseball, basket weaving. Treynor Underwood is going to be big. What are your thoughts on this matchup and the challenges this team presents to you?
Yeah, I mean, we love this matchup. Like you said, just across the board, whatever activity it is, if it's Treynor Underwood, it's going to be good. There's a lot of history and tradition between our schools and towns, and they've played really good football for a lot of years. We've played good football for a lot of years, and Underwood's kind of been the top of the class here, at least on this half of the state. You look at some of the best teams over the last 4 or 5 years on the western half of the state. In Class 1A, there's 3 teams. It's West Sioux, it's Van Meter, and it's Underwood. And so what you're going to get with them. They're as high quality football team as we can see during the year. But we're super excited about it. We really like where we're at and things that we're doing. And, we've been excited for every game this year, and we're certainly excited for this week too.
Kind of a twofold question here, Coach. They've got athletes galore, and I know you know that, and you guys certainly do too. How do you, speaking of the challenge that comes with containing their athletes, and how do you also try to utilize your athletes? I know you don't want to give too much away, but talk about kind of the give and take that comes with both sides of that.
Yeah, it's that joy of coaching, right? Like that creative aspect of it. They have some really good coaches that do some really creative things on their end to get the ball to their playmakers. And sometimes what they do is really simple. They're just really good at it because they do it so many times over and over, and they just become pros at it. And, we certainly have a similar formula, just trying to be simple, try to get our playmakers the ball, however that may look. And some weeks it may be a little bit different. Sometimes, maybe we're taking shots downfield. Sometimes it's quick hitting stuff. Maybe it's run game, pass game. But just trying to get those playmakers the ball and let them do their thing. Looking
ahead to Friday night, what would you say is like the 1 or 2 biggest keys for your team?
I think.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Treynor. Trevor Manor, Keith Christensen with you. We've got a state-rated Class 1A District 8 battle. 1A number 2, Underwood taking on 1A number 5, Treynor and Keith Christensen. This one should be a dandy here tonight in Treynor.
Yeah, this one's going to determine the district title, no doubt about it, and we're getting ready to get started here.
Now, Underwood will kick off. Treynor won the toss, elected to receive, so the Cardinals will go on offense first. Treynor, by the way, 5-0 on the year under head coach Jeff Casey, ranked number 5 in the KMA Sports State Power Rankings, number 2 in the KMA Land A1A 2A Power Rankings. And Gus Bayshore's kick is a touchback. And Underwood, Treynor now will start on their own 20. Keith, as we get things rolling here tonight, what are some things that you're keeping an eye on?
I'm going to keep an eye on the quarterback situation. Treynor Ben Casey, he went down last week with a concussion. He's been cleared to play tonight. He's going to match up nice with Garrett Lutt from Underwood. They both are running about 65%. about 1,000 yards each so far this season, so we'll see what the passing game provides for both.
Yeah, Ben Casey has had a really nice breakthrough year at the quarterback spot, and we'll start things in the shotgun for Casey, running back to his right. 2 receivers on each side. He'll put a man in motion left to right. Here's a handoff for not really anything on the run. Danny Kinsella. I know you mentioned Kinsella been a little banged up this week. Good to see him in the lineup for Treynor, but no gain on first down.
Yeah, if there's a weakness from the Treynor point of view, it's going to be the running game. They've been having to cycle through a bunch of different running backs as they've had injuries throughout the season. Underwood, on the other hand, got a couple of quality guys that are able to tote the ball pretty good.
Which is interesting to think about, right? Like all the years that there have been really, really good running backs from Treynor. Here's a run. Kinsella squirts through for about 4 or 5 to the 25-yard line. And it'll be third down coming up for the Treynor offense.
Yeah, Kinsella's been their top runner this whole season so far, but he's only about 325, 330 yards rushing on the season so far. Part of that's due to his injuries, so we'll see if he can get the ball rolling, and that'll set up some of the passing game for the Cardinals.
Ben Casey, a quarterback. Danny Kinsella, a running back. Some of the receivers of note: Jace Tams, Carson Elwood, Aaron Emke. Also, they'll use Caleb Cooper in a tight end spot as well. Shotgun look for Casey. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He'll have a running back on his right hip. Now he'll put Tams in motion left to right. They go pop to Tams, and it didn't fool the Underwood defense. Sam Shaning drops him for a loss, and it's a 3-and-out for Treynor offensively.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Treynor's trying to get that running game started. 3 straight runs and then 3-and-out. Then not going to be able to afford that the whole game, obviously.
So 4th down, and here's a punt for Treynor. Emke, the punter, had a good game last week, and it'll be fair caught by Mason Boothby at the 37-yard line, and that'll be where Underwood begins their first drive. So the Eagles were led by head coach Nate McHale. They suffered a season-opening loss to 2A number 1 Van Meter, and they were up 14-0 at one point in that game before losing 21-14. Since then, they have looked pretty good in wins over Kemper Catholic, St. Albert, AHSTW, and Shenandoah. They are led by sophomore quarterback Garrett Lutt, and he's got all kinds of toys around him. Maddox Nelson on his left hip out of the shotgun. Now he'll flank Nelson out. 2 receivers on each side. H-back on the right side, Van Fossen. They'll move him to the left side now. They'll put another man in motion. It's Easton Robertson. A lot of motion early on from this Underwood offense. Lutt back to pass. Unwinds down the field. Boothby open. He's got it. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Underwood. And just the start that the Eagles wanted. A 63-yard dime from Garrett Lutt to Mason Boothby puts him on the board.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if that triple motion put the Cardinals in kind of a questionable spot, but Boothby was able to get behind the D-back and probably had 6-7 steps on him when caught the perfect dime, and there we go, 6-0 already.
Mason Boothby's got a lot of speed. That's his 7th receiving touchdown of the year, and Underwood on the board first. Now Gus Bayshore, the left-footed kicker, on for the point after try. He has been 22 of 22 on those so far this year. Make it 23 of 23. Underwood, a quick strike. They're up 7-zip here on the KMA video stream.
Investors' goals are unique. Some wish to build wealth. For others, it might be early retirement or maybe just wanting a comfortable financial situation. Whatever your goals may be, there is a team ready to work for you. Alec Murphy and John Brocker are Brocker Wealth Management, and they offer a comprehensive, thorough process to help you get started on your financial objectives. Brocker Wealth Management.
I'm Alec Murphy, partner and financial advisor at Brocker Wealth Management, located in Council Bluffs, 712-256-7252.
Here it is. This is where my passion is my major.
With more than 80 areas of study, dozens of clubs and activities to choose from, and advisors who ask the right questions and offer support, it's easy to be you at Iowa Western.
Gus Bayshore to kick for Underwood after the Eagles strike on their first play from scrimmage, and Bayshore's kick will be a touchback. And Keith, we've only played a minute and 45, but if you're Underwood, obviously this is a start you drew up. Now, if you're Treynor, I wouldn't say like you necessarily have to score on this drive, right? But you have to at least show that you're going to be able to move the ball throughout the night.
Right, they're not going to be able to afford any more 3-and-outs. Treynor's going to have to be methodical. They're going to have to go to that pass game, Again, Ben Casey's got the ability with 4 receivers to choose from to throw a short ball and see if he can't get some yards after the catch.
So Treynor on their second offensive drive of the night will go out of a shotgun. 2 receivers to the left. Now he'll flank a running back out on the right side. Casey wanting to throw. Well, sidearm pass is caught to be a short gain to Caleb Cooper, the tight end, and it'll be second about 8 coming up for the Treynor offense.
Yeah, that's not too bad of a play right there, although he threw it into some defensive coverage there. There was 2 Underwood Eagles right nearby that were able to bring him down as soon as he caught the ball.
So a gain of 2 will make it, we'll call it 3, make it second and 7 coming up for the Cardinals on their own 23-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Boy, Treynor's got some tall receivers on that left side. Now they'll put Cooper in motion left to right. He'll go back to the left side. Casey rolling left, wanting to throw. Van Fossen was chasing from behind, and he gets spun down. That was Max Tarks able to wrap him up. No, check that. Graham Jensen able to wrap him up, but Jack Van Fossen blew that play up. Might have got a yard or 2 out of that, did Casey, but it'll be third down and about 6 coming up for the Treynor offense.
Yeah, Casey rolling to his left side, not his strong side, but he was looking for either Tams or Elwood down the field. Neither of them were open, so he had to tuck it and try to run, and got pressured right away. Not going to work.
Big third and 6 coming up for Treynor. They try to avoid a second straight 3 and out. Casey with Kinsella on his left hip, 2 receivers on the left side. And on the right side, Casey wanting to throw left side at Tams. Miscommunication between the two. Tams was kind of breaking in. Casey threw that towards the sideline, and it's another 3 and out for Treynor.
Yeah, they're going to take a little bit to try to get reset with their passing game. I think they're still going to be okay, but they're going to have to do something better than 3 and out to start the first 2 drives of this game. The
punt from Emke as Boothby signals for a fair catch at the 40-yard line, and Underwood will go to work for the second time tonight. Their first drive of the game only took 1 play. Garrett Lutt was able to hit Mason Boothby near the Treynor sideline for a 63-yard touchdown, and now Lutt, who coming into tonight had thrown for just over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, commanding the offense. Very talented athlete, going to play baseball at the University of Iowa in the future.
Able to sign real early as a freshman. Not too bad.
They'll put a man in motion, and then they give to Maddox Nelson. Nelson is gobbled up at the line of scrimmage. Zach Robbins, who has had a really big year for Treynor defensively, there to initiate the contact, and it's second down coming up for Underwood.
Yeah, Robbins, one of the leading tacklers on this Treynor defense, 28 tackles, 16 solo, 6 assisted.
Second and 10, empty shotgun for Lutt. He'll go to Van Fossen near the Treynor sideline to get some of that on second down. We'll set up a third and about 3 or 4. Aaron Emke gets the tackle for Treynor, and third down, and we'll call it 4. Short 3, long 4 coming up for the Underwood offense.
Underwood not wasting any time coming to the line.
Yeah, they'll occasionally go up tempo. Third and 3. Lutt will look over to the Underwood sideline. Now he'll put Nelson on his right hip out of the shotgun. He'll move Van Fossen right to left in the H-back spot. 2 receivers to the left. Lutt will hand off Nelson. Nelson first down into Treynor territory at the 46-yard line. Maddox Nelson has been their go-to in the backfield so far this year. 638 yards, 7 touchdowns. Had a big game against HSTW a couple weeks ago. It's a gain of what I'm going to say is 7 to the Treynor 46.
Right on his average of 6 yards per carry, so it's a good play call to third and short.
Fresh set of downs for Underwood. They'll toss Nelson. Nelson back to Lutt. Little trickery for the Eagles. They'll take a shot downfield to Boothby. Just overthrew him. Went to the bag of tricks early on, but to no avail on the double pass. More like a toss pass, I should say, from Lutt to Boothby, and it'll be second down coming up.
Yeah, that time the defensive backfield for Treynor was more in line, although Boothby still had a couple of steps on the cornerback, Emke, but he was overthrown. I think in the tussle of the 2-pass situation, there was not enough time to get set up.
Second 10 for Underwood. They will move Ravlin in on the left side, and they toss to Nelson. Nelson gets a couple on first down to the 44 before being brought down on the left hash. Joey Bittner gets the stop for Treynor. And these are the situations, Keith, if you're Treynor, you've got to win on third and mid-range to third and long. Got to get off the field. Shotgun look for Ludd. He's trying to get, I think, 5 free yards on a hard count to no avail so far. Now the snap. Ludd back to pass. Left side, Ravlin had a little bit of separation from his defender. Makes a nice catch. He's along the sideline into the 20. Gets a block and then gets walloped near the sideline, knocked out of bounds. There is a flag down as well.
I think we're going to have offensive holding on the out receiver trying to make a way for Ravlin to get to the end zone.
And that's going to be big. Peter Young, by the way, was the one that delivered the hit on Ravlin. And it is going to be a hold on Underwood. And that wipes out a first down. By the way, this officiating crew, it is a first down, but it's from the spot of the foul. So the big play from Lutt to Ravlin got him down to the 11, and the penalty will back him up to the 22. And now Underwood will go to work with a fresh set of downs after the penalty. Lutt, pocket collapsing, scrambling left side, trying to make a play with his legs. High steps out of a tackle, and we'll have a first down. Garrett Lutt doesn't run a lot. Not like maybe you're used to seeing with Underwood quarterbacks like a Nick Ravlin or an Alex Ravlin. Makes a nice play there.
Yeah, only 14 carries for 19 yards, but he about doubled his yardage with that 11 or 12-yard carry at that point.
Yeah, nobody's questioning his athleticism, no doubt. He hasn't really had to step up and run the ball a lot. So a gain of 13 down to the Treynor 9-yard line. Lutt with Nelson on his right hip. Out of the shotgun. He's got Van Fossen and Ravlin on the left side. Easton Robertson and Mason Boothby on the right side. Handoff, Nelson into the end zone. Touchdown, Underwood. A 9-yard scamper for Maddox Nelson, his 8th rushing score of the year. And Underwood on top early, 13-0.
Yeah, this is a methodical drive. It wasn't a one-play 63-yarder, but, again, we went about 60 yards in
8 plays, 60 yards is
yep.
what my tally shows. So now Gus Bayshore will come on for a PAT. He's 23 of 23 on the year. And Bayshore's kick is up and good. And Underwood off to a fast start. 14-zip they lead. 6:17 left here.
The Cattle Drive food truck based in Council Bluffs is a family-owned and operated business with a mission of providing you with great food and friendly service. Follow Cattle Drive CB on Twitter and the Cattle Drive on Facebook to keep track of where you can get the most succulent steak sandwich around. Cattle Drive is now offering catering too. No job is too big or too small, so call 402-290-9818 or check them out online at cattledrivecb.com. The Cattle Drive, where you are the #1 stakeholder.
Two Treynor drives, two Treynor 3-and-outs, two Underwood drives, two Underwood touchdowns, and it's 14-0. Advantage Underwood not even halfway through this first quarter. And Keith, maybe I'm kind of stating the obvious here, but just the start you wanted if you're Underwood, and definitely the start you wanted to avoid if you're Treynor.
Yeah, Treynor's going to have to find a way to get a little bit better pressure from their defensive linemen into the backfield. They're going to have to disrupt both the run and the pass to see what they can do to stop this offense.
So here's the kick from Bayshore, and there was a whistle before. Might have been somebody offside. By the way, this officiating crew, at least part of it from Clarinda, Dan Comer, Ron Griebert, longtime coach in the Clarinda area, John Cole, longtime official and coach in Clarinda and educator, part of this officiating crew tonight.
I don't think this 5-yard offsides is going to affect the method of getting the ball into the end zone.
So Bayshore now will have to back up 5 yards and kick it again. By the way, 1A District 8 action tonight. HSTW is taking on Missouri Valley. Also, Red Oak and Shenandoah going at it tonight. Red Oak on the board early in that one. Bayshore, the lefty, will tow it away. Kind of a line drive kick will take a couple hops and over Tams' head into the end zone for a touchback. And Keith, if you're Treynor, you got to get some sort of rhythm here offensively.
Yeah, they're going to have to find not a trick play, but they're going to have to find a nice steady drive. They got to keep their defense off the field. That was one of the problems that the Treynor defense had last week at AHST. They were just on the field for so much of the game.
And, of course, double-digit deficits, not something Treynor's been foreign to, right? Like, sometimes you look at a 5-0 team, you go, okay, man, have they been tested? Treynor's very much been tested, definitely in wins over Clarinda and AHSTW. Also, they were down early against Red Oak as well. Shotgun look for Casey. 2 receivers to the right, running back on his right hip. They will run Kinsella, and he got maybe a yard. And they'll say actually no gain for Kinsella.
It was just a straight handoff dive for Kinsella, and the middle's not really looking like it's working for the Cardinals. They might have to spread it out just a little bit and see what they can do to get around the outside.
Under 6 to go here in the first quarter. 3 receivers to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Running back on the right hip of Casey. Quick pass to Elwood. Gets the catch. Gets by 1 defender. Trying to break out of a tackle. Gets spun out of bounds to the 38-yard line. And Carson Elwood, a senior receiver, I know is garnering some interest at various levels collegiately, makes the catch, and they'll call it a gain of 17 and a much-needed first down.
Elwood's had quite a few catches like that on the season. He's able to get 10 or 12 yards after the catch, and I think Treynor's going to have to look to that for some of their bread and butter tonight to get the completions, get the yards after the carry.
It's Elwood's 26th catch of the year. Close to 400 yards on the season. Casey wanting to throw, pocket collapsing, scrambling right. Flag flies out of the backfield as he throws it away, and that's generally in the area of holding.
Might have had a hold on the interior line.
We'll await the decision as far as whether Underwood wants to accept or decline. I imagine you're going to accept it and back him up 10. And Ron Griebert says holding on Treynor. And now the Cardinals going to have a first and very long coming up from the 27. So it's going to be 1st and 20 from the 27-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. Casey with a running back to his left. Quick pass, Tams. Tams gets a block, and will get some of that back to the about 35-yard line before being brought down by a pair of Eagles, those being Josh Ravlin. Also, Easton Robertson in there on the stop.
That was a good block by Peter Young out there in the flat. That sprung Tams for a good 8 yards on that carry where it could have been hardly any gain.
We talked about before the game, too, Keith, so much of the success Treynor's had of the passing game has been in that short passing game as they try to get that going here tonight. Here's a 2nd and 12 for Casey. Wants to throw, takes a shot left side. Tams got by his man, out of his hands, incomplete. Would have been a big first down, but instead it's 3rd and 12.
That time Casey was able to throw it to Tams' outside shoulder, but Tams had to turn around to try to find it and just couldn't bring it in. But it was a nicely thrown pass, and the communication was there at that point.
So now a big 3rd and 12 coming up for Treynor with 4:55 to go in the first quarter. From their own 35-yard line, down 14-zip. Casey will have a running back on his right side. It's Kinsella. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now put a man in motion. It was Cooper, the tight end. Casey rolling right. Max Tarts hit him as he threw, and just kind of a wounded duck falls incomplete. And a 4th down coming up for Treynor.
Good chance that Aaron Emke can flip the field at least a little bit better this time. And Underwood's been starting from the 37, 40-yard line. It's still their territory, but it's only 60, 63 yards to go. If he can get it down inside the 20 or something, that'll be a whole lot better.
So Emke to punt it away. And that punt spirals out of bounds, and we'll see where they spot it, but it's going to be another good field position start for Underwood at the 46-yard line. So Underwood continues to win the field position game.
Not the definition of flipping the field that I was expecting, but
4:47 to go in the first. Underwood on their 3rd offensive drive of the night. The last 2 have been touchdowns. They've already got over 120 total yards of offense. Two receivers to the right. Now they'll put Nelson out of the left side. Empty backfield shotgun for Lutt. They'll put Robertson in motion. A little bit of a high snap. They go pop past Robertson. Robertson trying to get a block on the left side. And nothing there. He gets swarmed. Caleb Cooper and Zach Robbins sniff that one out. And one of the first negative plays that Underwood has had tonight. But Robbins comes hobbling off the field for Treynor. Robbins, we mentioned, has been a standout on the Treynor defense. Hopefully all is well with him as he'll be tended to on the sideline. 2nd and 12 for Underwood. Shotgun look for Underwood. Here's a give Nelson. Nelson got maybe a yard back or so. Joey Bittner makes the tackle for Treynor. It's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up. And Keith, if you're Treynor, you really got to win this down.
You do. We're going to have to get good pressure into that backfield and disrupt whatever play they've got called. By default, we're getting new defensive linemen subbed in with Robbins coming over to the side, and that always keeps fresh legs on the field.
So 3rd and 10 for Underwood from their own 46. Under 4 to go here in the first quarter. Now Lutt will move Nelson to the right side out of a shotgun. Lutt wanting to roll right to Robertson. High pass incomplete. Aaron Emke was in coverage, and it looks like for the first time tonight, an Underwood drive will end with a punt. And now they'll try to flip the field. Not that they've had much trouble in the field position department tonight, but they will bring Boothby out there to punt.
Yeah, they've got an opportunity to pin Treynor fairly deep. Elwood, although not a bad returner when it comes to punts, so we'll see if he can get a catch and get something going, get positive yards for the Treynor offense.
So Carson Elwood stands at about the 17. Mason Boothby back to punt for Underwood. Treynor's been really good on special teams this year. Here's a high punt. Elwood signals for a fair catch at the 16-yard line. Special teams was the difference maker for them last week in that win over HSTW. A couple of block punts. They turned into touchdowns to get that 26-25 win. And as Keith mentioned earlier, the winner tonight, you don't necessarily clinch a district title, but a lot of things would have to go awry over the next 2 weeks for it to not be your district.
Yeah, Treynor front-loaded their tough games in the beginning of the district anyway.
Casey, quick pass, caught Elwood near the sticks, gets out of a tackle. They say he stepped out of bounds, about right at the first down. Yeah, Treynor started the district play with a win over Red Oak. They also beat AHSTW. Underwood got a win over HSTW. Then they took care of Shenandoah last week. Treynor and Underwood both 2-0. HSTW 0-2. Shenandoah and Red Oak 1-1. Missouri Valley 0-2 in the district. So a gain of 10 on first down makes another first down for Treynor offensively. Casey again wanting to pass, rolling right. We'll just have to cut bait and throw it away, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, he had trips to the left, and all three of them were covered because they didn't look like they were running routes. It looked like they were just waiting for that pass to come, and Underwood kind of sniffed that out.
So a 2nd and 10 now for the Treynor offense. We'll get a football in from the sideline. Treynor will break the huddle. Second down from their own 26-yard line. Trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Running back on the right hip of Casey. Casey wants to take a shot right side. Elwood, what a grab. Was he inbounds?
He was not.
Incomplete. That was almost a highlight reel catch from Carson Elwood.
Elwood's had plenty of those on the season, including some in the end zone, toe tapping for the tying score at AHSTW. Just out of bounds on this one, far side.
So now 3rd and 10 for Treynor, and we'll see what Coach Jeff Casey dials up, knowing they need 10 yards to get a first down. 14-zip advantage Underwood. A quick-moving game so far. Both teams on their, well, Treynor's on their fourth offensive possession. Here's a handoff up the middle. Kinsella bowling forward. He's going to be about a yard shy. And now you're in a really interesting spot if you're Coach Jeff Casey and company.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to try to go for this fourth and short from the 35. Now they're going to call a timeout and actually take a measurement. That was a generous spot, I think.
Yeah, it looked like he was about a yard further back than that. They're going to measure now. From here, it looks like he's still about a yard or so short, but I don't have the best eyes in the world, and I'm at a different angle, so what the heck do I know as they bring out the chains, which is something, by the way, you don't see a lot of anymore. And it's going to be a first down, Treynor.
Strong run by Danny Kinsella there he got hit at least 2 yards short and was able to fight for those apparently extra 2 yards and give Treynor the first down and new life in this drive.
So 1st and 10 as we just over 3 minutes to go here in the quarter. Got to get some sort of answer here if you're Treynor. Casey wanting to throw. It's caught by Tams. Tams gets a block from Young, trying to make a play to get by the defender. Ball's on the ground. There's a scramble for it. And we'll have to wait to see who comes out of the pile with it. Tams lost it trying to break a tackle. And now the officials will have to separate the bodies, and it looks like Treynor did get back on it, so disaster averted for the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, Tams in his attempt to get more yards kind of had that ball out away from his body, and it might have got knocked. Fortunately, fallen back on by the Treynor Cardinals.
2nd and 7 for Treynor now. 2 receivers to the left, running back on the left, hip of Casey. They will run Kinsella. Kinsella gets wrestled down to the ground by Sam Shading after a gain of a couple. But, Keith, we're seeing the Treynor run game open up a little bit over the last handful of run plays.
Yeah, Underwood's having to adjust to those outside passes. It's going to open up the inside just a little bit. And if Kinsella can get going, he'll be able to get 8-10 yards a carry.
3rd and 5 coming up for Treynor from their own 41-yard line. 2:10 and rolling left here in the first quarter, down 14-zip. Casey, quick pass, caught, but nothing there. It'll be a 4th down coming up as he threw that one to Brady Phelps.
Luke Seidler looks like he was out there just able to make that tackle right away.
So Treynor got a couple first downs, but the drive stalls out at their own 40-yard line. And now we will see a punt from Aaron Emke for the 4th time tonight. Emke's punt, high punt. Boothby will signal for a fair catch at the 34-yard line. And that'll be where Underwood begins their next drive. You're just tuning in. Treynor went 3 and out of their first drive. Underwood needed one play to get on the board. The 63-yard touchdown pass from Garrett Lett to Mason Boothby. Treynor went 3 and out again. Underwood goes 60 yards down the field. They get a touchdown run by Maddox Nelson. Since then, we've traded punts. Underwood will have their 4th offensive possession of the game with 1:26 to go in the first.
Zach Robbins back in on the defensive end side for Treynor.
Lutt, handoff Nelson. Nelson broke up a tackle, the line of scrimmage. Still going into the open field, brought down from behind at the 47-yard line, 46-yard line into Treynor territory. Brady Phelps among those on the stop. One thing I noticed in watching Maddox Nelson a couple weeks ago, he's not super big, but he runs a lot bigger than he is. He gets a gain of 20 on that one, and they're into Treynor territory. Again, they give Nelson. Nelson, again, positive yardage, and he gets wrestled down, tried to get low, and Brady Phelps just spins him like a top down to the ground, but it'll be a first down for Underwood.
And once again, Nelson's reaching that 3rd level. It's requiring the safety, Brady Phelps, to bring him down.
Should be a fresh set of downs for Underwood at the Treynor 36. 1st and 10. We'll put a man in motion left to right. Lutt wanting to throw, takes a shot left side. Robertson, did he haul it in? No, he did not. Incomplete. Did a good job tracking that one down. Tams was in coverage to break that one up.
It wasn't bad coverage by Tams, but he lost track of where the ball was. The Underwood receiver did not, and he was almost able to come back in and make that catch.
49 ticks to go in the quarter. Underwood threatening again in Treynor territory at the 36-yard line. Putting Boothby in motion left to right. They hand off Nelson. Nelson trying to spin out some tackles at the line of scrimmage and got about a yard or so, but a 3rd and 9 coming up for the Underwood offense. And we'll see how Coach Nate McKelson and the Underwood staff tries to attack this. So 3rd and 9 from the 34. He'll put Nelson on his left hip. Will let two receivers on each side. Now he'll flank Nelson out, make it three receivers to the left, empty backfield shotgun. Now he'll put Nelson in motion. Underwood, a lot of motion at different times tonight. Nelson will go to the right side, so three receivers to the right. Lutt wanting to throw, pocket collapsing, steps up, kind of a sidearm, incomplete to Boothby. I think Lutt can kind of feel the pocket around him evaporating and has to sidearm it to Boothby, incomplete, and a fourth down coming up for Underwood.
Yeah, nice pressure by Zach Robbins from that left defensive end spot. He come all the way around and back up into the pocket and rushed that pass. I don't think that Lutt wanted to throw it as soon as he did, and he wasn't able to make the connection to Boothby.
Looks like Underwood going to stay on the field. You're in kind of no man's land here at 4th and 8 from the opposing team's 34. So they will go for it. Put Ravelin in motion right to left, trips to the left. Lutt keeps it, throws left side, Ravelin wide open, first down, and brought down inside the 20. Nice play design by Underwood to get the first down. And a big fourth down conversion.
Linebacker came up because he was thinking that Lutt might take off with the ball, and then Lutt was able to dump it off to Ravelin for that first down throw.
And that is how the quarter will end. So Underwood up 14-0 and striking again. So we go to the second here, the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com.
It's easier than ever to find the live stream for your team now on FullerDigital.net. Home and away, if we're covering your team's videos are on FullerDigital.net. Just click on your school and you'll find the game. Thank you for watching our events, and remember, the games are on FullerDigital.net.
Judd Knispel at State Farm Insurance has over 23 years State Farm experience, and he wants to protect what's important to you. Their centrally located office has team members that have over 20 years of experience in the industry, and being in Iowa right on the border has allowed them to be able to serve both Iowa and Nebraska. For auto, home, property, business, life, and health, visit with Judd Knispel today at Judd Knispel Insurance Agency, your State Farm Insurance agent in Council Bluffs.
Headed to the second quarter here in Treynor, 14-0, Underwood leading the state-rated Class 1A District 8 battle. Trevor Mader, Keith Christensen with you here tonight. Underwood has it at the Treynor 19-yard line as we start the second frame.
Underwood's done a nice job of mixing up both run and pass, and so Treynor hasn't had an opportunity to key in on one or the other. They've had to continue to cover both.
Lutt with Nelson on his right hip out of the shotgun. Two receivers on each side. Will pass right side. One to go to Van Fossen, and he hauls it in. Touchdown, Underwood. Garrett Lutt to Jack Van Fossen for the score. Underwood grows their lead. That is the second receiving touchdown of the year for Van Fossen.
Just kind of a nice fade route into what looked like it was going to be the back corner of the end zone. Van Fossen didn't quite make it there, but made it to the end zone, which is all that counts for the 6 points.
So now Bayshore on for the PAT. Ravelin will hold. And the kick by Bayshore is good. He's still perfect on the air, and Underwood looking perfect pretty far so far tonight. 21-zip our score here in the second quarter of the KMA video stream.
McIntosh Plumbing Council Bluffs is here for all your plumbing needs. We'll keep the water working, and no job is too big or too small. McIntosh Plumbing guarantees their work, and they are available 24/7. Find them online or call today. McIntosh Plumbing, Council Bluffs.
Our score. Advantage Underwood here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Keith Christensen with you here tonight. Underwood already has just under 200 total yards of offense. Treynor, meanwhile, 55 yards of offense.
Looking back on the last three contests, back in 2020, Underwood beat Treynor 42-0, 45-0 in 21, 54-0 in 22. So Treynor hasn't been able to score on Underwood the last 3 years, and so far tonight, 21-0 against a stout Underwood offense.
Bayshore's kick is returnable at the 2-yard line by Elwood. Elwood kind of slipped for a moment, gets brought down to the 17 by Underwood. And, yeah, you mentioned, so the last 3 years, a combined 141-0 is the score. And I knew that going in, but also I can tell you that because the Underwood student section has that listed across the way. And the 2 games before that were pretty good games between the two teams that Treynor had won in 2018 and 2019, a 28-26 win in 2018, a 24-20 win in 2019. So Treynor will start this drive on their own 18, trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Here's a run, not much there. I believe that was Waterman on the carry. No, it was Danny Kinsella. Check that, but no gain for Treynor.
That Underwood defensive line is doing what I think Treynor defensive line needs to be doing. They need to bottle things up in there, and they need to get some pressure and get those backs in the backfield before they have a chance to get going.
2nd and 10 for Treynor from the 18. Casey wanting to go right side to Elwood. Elwood had a defender all over him. Boothby nicely in coverage. This is going to be, as the night goes on, a fun matchup to watch because, of course, we've talked about what Carson Elwood has done offensively this year. Mason Boothby led the state in interceptions a year ago. He's already got a handful of picks this year.
I think that one bounced off of Boothby's helmet. Elwood didn't really have a chance to get his hands on it. If Ben Casey can get that one up a little bit further downfield, give Carson Elwood a chance to maybe catch that on the run. Could be for big yards.
3rd and 10 from the 18. There's a run play that doesn't give much on 3rd down, and Treynor likely will punt it away. Nolan Waterman, the ball carrier. And another Treynor punt coming up, their 5th of the night. Aaron Emke will do it from inside the 10. Booming punt, his best one of the night. Boothby will let it go, and that is going to roll inside the 20 to the 13 or 14. Good job by Emke to flip field position.
I'm not entirely sure why Boothby let that one go. He was in a position to catch it with a fair catch, but he instead let it bounce onto the turf, and Aaron Emke was the beneficiary of another probably 15, 20 yards on that.
Yeah, they would have had it about the 30, which still would have been a good punt. It would have flipped field position as opposed to what they've given Underwood so far tonight, but now Underwood will have it on their own 14. 10:42 to go in the first half. Lutz out of a shotgun with a running back to his left. 2 receivers on each side. High snap. Lutt puts it in the belly of Nelson, who runs hard, trying to squirm through the hole. Close to a first down. We'll have to see the official spot. Looks like about a yard shy. We've got a Cardinal a little slow to get up, but that's, I think, just remnants of the pile. We'll give him 9. And it'll be a 2nd and 1 for Underwood on their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, Jared Schwarty came in and tried to clean up that tackle and created another pile for Underwood running back to get another yard or two, actually.
2nd one. Again, another high snap. Lutt with the play fake. Sidearm pass is caught for a first down. Easton Robertson. Now, we talked about Lutt's baseball background earlier, and one thing that we've seen that kind of do with quarterbacks, Keith, is it's led to more quarterbacks being able to throw from different platforms.
Yeah, that was definitely another sidearm throw. I don't know if it was designed or not. He left the pocket, but then saw the receiver there and was able to connect.
Gain of 8, fresh set of downs. Lutt rolling right, takes a shot downfield. Ravlin got by his man, he's got it. It's a foot race to the 10, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Underwood. Garrett Lutt to Josh Ravlin for 69 yards, and the Eagles' offense is in rhythm right now.
Yeah, Lutt was able to just thread that one down past the Treynor receiver, and then it became a foot race. Peter Young, I believe, was on the coverage, is unable to catch up to the receiver, who caught it in stride. Again, we thought maybe if Elwood could do that from Ben Casey, there might be a opportunity for that on the other side, but instead we got 27, probably going to be 28-0 here.
Gus Bayshore to kick with Ravlin, who just got that touchdown holding. Good snap, good kick. It's 28-zip Underwood early here in the second quarter of the KMA video stream.
Minky Auction and Realty of Treynor specializes in the marketing and sale of farmland, acreages, residential and commercial properties at auction or traditional listings. Talk with Byron Minky if you need help deciding whether to list your property or sell it at public auction. Byron is the broker-owner of Minky Auction and Realty with 10 licensed agents serving all of southwest Iowa and southeast Nebraska. They've conducted hundreds of personal property auctions. Visit minkyauction.com or call 712-487-3542.
Garrett Lutt hits Josh Ravlin for a 69-yard touchdown pass, and Underwood's lead is now 28-0 early in the second quarter. Garrett Lutt, 8 of 12 for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Underwood, number 2 in Class 1A, behind only Grundy Center. Right now, taking it to number 5 ranked Treynor.
Yeah, it's an offensive mismatch tonight so far. No other way to say it.
Gus Bayshore will kick it away for Underwood. And another kick that'll be in play for Treynor. Carson Elwood will field it from the 8. Elwood gets out of one tackle, trying to stay going, and will get up to the 23-yard line. Treynor, no turnovers, and usually you think, okay, that's good. We're taking care of the football, but they haven't been able to move the ball. I think 3 first downs all night.
Yeah, and again, that's going to lead to the Treynor defense just getting more and more tired trying to cover and cover that run game and cover the pass game, both of which have been effective for Underwood tonight.
So Treynor will start this drive on their own 23-yard line. So far, the Cardinals, 57 total yards of offense to Underwood's 284. Trips right, shotgun look for Casey. Casey rolling right will throw to Emke, who tried to make a sliding grab. And it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Casey trying to roll out to the wide side of the field that time. Had Emke out in the flat, but tight window to throw into, and he was just a little bit low on the throw, and Emke couldn't come up with the catch.
Casey 6 of 13 for 39 yards so far tonight. Second and 10 on the way for Treynor. Down 28-0 early in the second quarter. Casey will put a man in motion. It's Peter Young. A little high snap. Give to Kinsella. Kinsella breaks out of a couple tackles, and Sam Shading just wrestles him down. I think that was Waterman on the carry.
Jet Sorensen on the carry.
Sorensen, yeah, you're correct. Good job by Shading to blow that play up after a positive gain by Sorensen of 2 to make it second and 8. Or third and 8, rather.
Sorensen similarly not big in stature, but able to find those holes at times, and sometimes it makes it hard for defenses to find him in order to make the tackle.
State qualifying wrestler at 113 this past year. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs in the backfield for Casey. And they'll go a little option. Pitch to Elwood. Elwood gets down the sideline and have the first down. It looks like, that was kind of Treynor's bread and butter for a handful of years, right? Out of the flex bone, run the option. The dial it up there, and it's a gain of 11.
Yeah, Coach Casey doing what he can to try to find an offensive series or plays that will do the trick. That one came to the outside, and again, Elwood was able to get around the edge, get the first down.
So first and 10 for Treynor. 8.5 to go in the half. Still a lot of football left to be played. Casey wanting to take a shot to Cooper, in and out of his hands. Might have been off the helmet. Good job by Casey to thread the needle, but Cooper unable to haul it in.
Cooper, one of those 6'4" or 5 guys, easy to find in the defensive backfield. He had him on a post play, middle of the field. Cooper in and out of his hands. 2nd and 10.
It's been about missed opportunities, right? Like Treynor's had a couple of plays that were almost home run plays. Just haven't quite been there. Underwood's been able to hit on a few of those. 1st and 10. Put a man in motion left to right. Here's a handoff. Sorensen. Positive gain on 2nd down will make it 3rd and about 7 or so coming up from the 39-yard line. And we will see what Coach Jeff Casey will drop for the Cardinals here on 3rd down. We've seen them want to roll Ben Casey out a little bit in this situation or previously tonight.
Ball's currently in the middle of the field, so he's got options to roll one either way, really.
So 3rd and 6 for Treynor from the 39, 40-yard line. And they will snap to Emke. Emke running it. That didn't fool anybody. Graham Jensen and Sam Shaning gobble him up. No gain. Emke had been in the quarterback rotation for Treynor the last couple years when they ran that flex bone. Of course, when he came in last week, ran the ball a little bit, but Underwood all over that one. And now I think we'll have a timeout. Underwood had way too many guys on the field.
Yeah, they were having a little trouble getting their punt team out onto the field.
And we'll get a timeout. 28-zip Underwood. Here's 7:20 left in the second quarter of the KMA video stream.
The end of a marriage comes with many emotions and uncertainties. You may feel confused, lost, and alone. Let the professionals at Simpson Legal Group give you a helping hand. With a combined 25 years of experience, Shannon and Jaylee Simpson.
Aaron Emke to punt for Treynor. Nice pump by Emke, fielded by Boothby on a knee at the 17-yard line, and this will be where Underwood begins their next drive of the night.
Yeah, Treynor's last couple of times have been able to flip the field pretty good with a couple of good Aaron Emke punts. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem to matter, though. Treynor unable to hold Underwood's offense at bay. Underwood went some 80 yards on that last possession for the touchdown.
And they went 86 yards on that last drive. Now they'll have it on their own 17. Putting a man in motion on the right side. Robertson, a little bit of a high snap. They give a handoff. It's Graham Jensen on the carries, first of the night. And Caleb Cooper sniffs that one out. No gain for Underwood on 1st down.
I think they sent Cooper on a linebacker blitz that time. He was able to penetrate that backfield and get a hold of the runner before any positive yards were made, and so it was negative play.
They actually lose a couple yards on that. 2nd and 12 for Underwood now from their own 15. Trips right, one to the left. Running back on the right hip of Lutt. Here's a handoff up the middle. Jensen with the 1st down before being brought down in the second level. Gain of about 14 on 1st down will move the chains.
Ultimately, again, the safety, Brady Phelps, was having to bring him down. But once you reach that 2nd or 3rd level, it's tough to do.
1st and 10 from the 29. 6:15 to go in the half. And we'll get a timeout. Flag. Yeah, flag. Didn't see it at first. So the false start will back Underwood up. That's, I believe, the first. No, they had a hold earlier as well on a 1st down. Relatively clean game in terms of penalties so far.
For both teams.
Yeah. think Treynor might have had one hold as well. 1st and 15 now from the 24. Here's a handoff. Jensen gets a couple yards back. Give him 2. It'll be 2nd and 12 coming up for Underwood. 6 minutes to go in the half. .28-zip Underwood in control right now. Shenandoah out to a 21-6 lead on Red Oak. Lutt out of the shotgun. Play fake. Kept it. Lutt doesn't run a lot. Gets a handful on 2nd down, and then he gets crunched. His helmet, I think, came off too. And he is slow. He is not getting up, and that is not what you want to see if you're Underwood. Garrett Lutt is down.
That was a tough hit at the end of the play. He's moving out there, but not getting up.
So Lutt being tended to by the medical staff now. Scary play. Let's step aside here, the KMA video stream.
The end of a marriage comes with many emotions and uncertainties. You may feel confused, lost, and alone. Let the professionals at Simpson Legal Group give you a helping hand. With a combined 25 years of experience, Shannon and Jaylee Simpson will listen, advise, and give you your options in plain language, putting you in the best position for your next steps in life. If you are in need of a divorce or family law attorney, don't take this path alone. Let us guide you. Contact Simpson Legal Group today.
Welcome back to Treynor. Welcome back to Treynor on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Underwood quarterback Garrett Lutt coming off the field. He'll be tended to by the medical staff. A little slow to get up now. His helmet came off, so he has to come out for a play regardless.
That was a designed run for Lutt. That time it was a fake handoff on the inside and that speed option over to the right.
So Underwood will have to go to the backup quarterback. And on the run, it's Maddox Nelson, who actually took the snap out of the backfield. And the flag came over the far side. Might have been a face mask. Nelson will get the first down. And maybe some added yards to that as well. So we'll check the flag. But the run nets the first down, then it is a face mask on Treynor. So a fresh set of downs from the 46 coming up for Underwood. 5 minutes to go in the half. Maddox Nelson taking the snaps. The quarterback now is Garrett Lutt on the sideline. There's a whistle, and it looks like a false start on Underwood. Will back him up 5 yards.
All that's really doing is giving a chance for Garrett Lutt to come back onto the field, to be honest. So 1st and 15 for Underwood, but Garrett Lutt now back on the field.
Good to see, if you're Underwood, that Lutt able to come back out there after missing, well, actually only missed one play. First and 15, under 5 to go in the half. Underwood trying to strike again, up 28-0. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Lutt dumped it off Ravelin, who kind of snuck away from the defense, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 15 coming up for the Underwood offense. They haven't been behind the chains much tonight.
That was a good, strong throw from Lutt to Ravelin, and I think it was just a little too strong. Ravelin had bounced right off his hands, unable to come up with it.
So 2nd and 15. 3 receivers to the right. They'll now put Nelson on the left side, so trips left. Lutt wanting to throw over the middle of the field. High pass almost intercepted, in and out of the hands of Caleb Cooper. And it's 3rd and 15 coming up. That could have been a big play that Treynor needed.
That would have given Treynor a lot of advantage. Right at the 50-yard line, it would have given them a short field-ish to see what they could do with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. However, Underwood still with the ball.
So 3rd and 15 from the 41. 2 receivers to the left. Now they'll put Robertson in motion left to right. And they hand off Nelson on 3rd down. He'll get About 6 out of that. 4th and 10 coming up for Underwood. And the punting unit will come out of the field. 4:15 and rolling left here in the first half.
Punting is not something that Underwood has had to do
twice
this whole season, so.
Yeah, haven't done that much at all. As Treynor late bringing a man on. Jet Sorensen came in late. And the punt almost blocked. Elwood will field it at the 25. Stays in bounds, lowers his shoulder, and he'll get wrestled down at the 37-yard line. That might be the best field position Underwood or Treynor has had to start a drive tonight.
And they've got a little over 4 minutes, well, a little under 3 minutes, 3:45 to see what they can do to put this ball deeper into Underwood territory.
If you're Treynor, you'd love to get on the board here and at least give yourself a little bit of momentum going into the break. Underwood will get the ball to start the second half. 1st and 10 for Treynor from the 38-yard line. Casey, a little bit of a low snap. He wants to throw. Right side man got behind his defender. Incomplete.
Drew Myers not as tall as Carson Elwood is.
2nd and 10 now coming up for Treynor. Missed opportunity for a big play there from the Cardinals. 3:40 to go in the first half, down 28-0. 3 receivers to the left. Casey, pass intercepted by Van Fossen, who got a hand on it, trying to break out of a tackle, still on his feet. Brought down at the 26-yard line. Van Fossen just got a paw up, able to glove it, and kind of a slow developing play there. He able to stumble inside the 30, and a first turnover of the night puts Underwood deep in Treynor territory.
Casey was going for another one of those 10-yard outs to Carson Elwood. Did not see Van Fossen step in front of that one this time, and so that might have been a defensive adjustment that Nate Mickelson made in order to combat that.
So Underwood will start this drive on the Treynor 25. 3.5 left in the half. Up 28-zip are the Eagles. Handoff, Graham Jensen slides down to the 20. That was about where he was initially contacted.
I'm not sure if he lost his footing or kind of meant to do that, but he certainly did go into a slide.
2nd and 5 now for the Eagles from the 20. They'll bring Van Fossen in on the left side. 2 receivers to the right. Lutt wanting to pass, takes a shot right side, and far side, incomplete. Out of bounds. It went to Robertson on the far side.
Peter Young this time able to pressure the receiver towards the boundary line, and not enough room to make the catch and stay in bounds.
3rd and 5 for Underwood now from the Treynor 20. 3:02 to go in the half. See if Underwood doesn't get it here, if they play for 3 or if they go for it.
I think the long on this year I just looked up was 31 yards.
And they hand off to Jensen, and he gets gobbled up by a quartet of Treynor defenders. Joey Bittner, Zach Robbins, and company in there. It's a loss of 2, and that might make the decision a little bit easier. That's 4th and 7. It'd be a 39-yard field goal from here.
Looks like the offense is going to stay on. We'll just see what happens. 2.5 left to go.
So 4th and 7. Lutt looks over to the sideline. Lutt wants to throw, pressure coming on the left side. He'll take a shot right side. Nicely defended as they went to Ravelin. Was that Young again?
Yeah, Peter Young figuring that out on that far side. They're not going to get beat twice.
So Underwood turns it over on downs at the 22-yard line.
Might be a defensive spark that might give the offense for Treynor a little life to see what they can do. Only 2 minutes left to the half, but they got to hold on to it.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get something going here. So they will start at their own 21-yard line. Underwood not able to take advantage of the short field. 1st and 7 from the 21. Casey wants to throw, kind of led Elwood out of bounds. And it's incomplete. Elwood got by his defender.
The right placement for the ball, kind of outside shoulder for Elwood. The only one who was going to catch it was Carson, but he didn't have enough real estate to stay in bounds.
2nd and 10 coming up now for Treynor from their own 21-yard line. 2:13 to go in the half. Casey with a screen to Tams. Tams ends up going backwards, still going, trying to get a block, and that was not the way they drew it up, I'm sure, as Tams tried to get creative, and he ends up losing about 12 yards, and then to add insult to it, he is slow to get up. Tams just trying to do a little too much there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was as much of an injury as it was a kind of a moral, I'm going to stay on the ground for an extra couple of seconds and think about the play that I just made.
So Treynor takes time out. We'll keep it here. 3rd and about 21 now coming up for, 22 coming up for Treynor. Some of the other scores tonight, I mentioned 1A District 8. Shenandoah continues to add to their lead on Red Oak. They're up 28-6 right now. HSTW's up 16-0 on Missouri Valley. Interesting one tonight right now. St. Albert is up 15-0 on Tri-Center in the second quarter. Clarinda's up 22-14 on Clark. Audubon up 22-8 on Glidden-Ralston. Creston, the number 1 team in Class 3A, up 20-0 on Atlantic right now. 2 minutes to go in the half. Treynor just 60 total yards of offense. Underwood with 321.
Treynor's got a long 3rd and about 21 to go. Yeah. Underwood was the one that took that timeout. They've got one left. They'll be able to stop the clock again after the end of this play, and they might end up with some decent field position with a good amount of time left to see if their offense can put one more into the end zone.
So Treynor will have it from their own 21, but 3rd and very, very long coming up for the Cardinals. We'll see if they just play it safe or if they take a shot here. Underwood will get the ball to start the second half, by the way. Casey will throw. Uncorks one, went to Emke. It was thrown short, and it's intercepted by Robertson, who's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Underwood. That was well short. Robertson snags it and wasn't even touched going in, and it's now 34-0 Underwood.
I think there was another miscommunication there. I think Ben Casey was expecting Emke to maybe cut out. Instead, Emke kept going, and Casey threw the ball where only an Underwood player could make the catch, and they made him pay for it.
So now Bayshore on to kick. He's 4 for 4 tonight, perfect on the season. Ravlin to hold, and that kick is good. 35-zip Underwood, 1:52 to go here in the first half of KMA video stream.
The wind won't always be at your back. The sun won't always be shining. And some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact Travis Castle, Castle & Associates, 402-291-8767.
Easton Robertson, pick 6, grows the Treynor lead to 30, or the Underwood lead rather, to 35-0. A minute 52 left in the first half, so running clock would be in effect until Treynor can find the end zone.
I'll take a quick second while we're waiting for the kickoff to thank Shane Schaff and Schaff Egg for sponsoring the scoreboard tonight for this and all Treynor broadcasts.
Kick coming from Gus Bayshore. And that kick returnable for Treynor from the 4-yard line. Carson Elwood spins out of a tackle, still going. Flag comes in, though, so this is coming back. Elwood to the 35. Boothby chasing him down. Will wrestle him down at the 40, but like I said, there is a flag in the backfield.
I think we're going to have a block in the back down there around the 18 or so yard line.
So the big return will be wiped out. HSTW now out on top of Missouri Valley 36-0 in 1A District 8.
So Treynor tonight with now 2 costly turnovers and a couple of penalties that were coming at the wrong time, negating what was a nice return by Elwood. He started at the 4, ended up on the 40. Would have been 36 yards, but instead.
All the way back to the 10 with 1:35 and rolling left here in the first half. Here's a handoff and a loss of a yard or two on the run play. Drew Myers got the carry. 2nd 11 now for this Treynor offense that has just sputtered so far tonight.
A little over a minute to go. We'll see if Treynor can hold on to the ball and just take it into halftime.
Casey trying to throw to Elwood. It's incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down. Clock will continue to run. Of course, running clock in effect at 35 points. Under a minute to go in the half. Casey out of a shotgun. Low snap. Quick pass to Myers, and he's met by Jack Van Fossen immediately. And that might be how the half ends. Treynor does not have to run another play before the break. And it's 4th down, and that'll likely take us into halftime. No urgency from either side, and we will go to the break. Underwood has looked every bit the part of the number 2 ranked team in Class 1A, up 35-0 here on the KMA video stream. We'll step aside. Halftime coverage coming up here in a moment.
Investors' goals are unique. Some wish to build wealth. For others, it might be early retirement or maybe just wanting a comfortable financial situation. Whatever your goals may be, there is a team ready to work for you. Alec Murphy and John Brocker are Brocker Wealth Management, and they offer a comprehensive, thorough process to help you get started on your financial objectives. Brocker Wealth Management.
I'm Alec Murphy, partner and financial advisor at Brocker Wealth Management, located in Council Bluffs, 712-256-7252.
Here it is. This is where my passion is my major.
With more than 80 areas of study, dozens of clubs and activities to choose from, and advisors who ask the right questions and offer support, it's easy to be you at Iowa Western.
One more?
Yeah.
The Cattle Drive food truck based in Council Bluffs is a family-owned and operated business with a mission of providing you with great food and friendly service. Follow Cattle Drive CB on Twitter and the Cattle Drive on Facebook to keep track of where you can get the most succulent steak sandwich around. Cattle Drive is now offering catering too. No job is too big or too small, so call 402-290-9818 or check them out online at cattledrivecb.com. The Cattle Drive, where you are the number one stakeholder.
35-0, Underwood leading Treynor at halftime of this Class 1A District 8 state-rated battle. Underwood coming in number 2 in the KMA Sports State rankings. Treynor number 5 at Keith Christensen. I think it's safe to say this game has gone exactly the way you wanted it if you're Underwood, and for Treynor, a very not good first half.
Yeah, Underwood has been able to play both phases of their offense, rushing and passing. And then towards the end of that second quarter, they were able to get a defensive touchdown to kind of add insult to the injury, 35-0 coming into the halftime break.
So total yardage, by the way, I haven't seen probably this much of a discrepancy since maybe Saturday night in College Station, or not College, University Park, whatever it's called there at Penn State. 321 yards for Underwood to 58 for Treynor.
Yeah, and Treynor's had a little bit more than that, honestly, and then they had a couple of negative plays that brought that number all the way back down underneath the 60 mark. They're going to have to find something different to try here in the second half. They're going to have to try to keep that ball a little bit longer, or that Treynor defense is going to continue to get tired.
So Garrett Lutt, sophomore quarterback for Underwood, is thrown for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns, connecting with Josh Ravlin, Mason Boothby, and Jack Van Fossen. For those, he had the 63-yarder from Boothby to start the game, had a 69-yarder to Ravlin later on in the game. Meanwhile, the Underwood rushing attack has posted 110 yards, led by 71 and a score from Maddox Nelson. Halftime here tonight in Treynor. We're going to step aside, and actually last night we had a couple of fun volleyball broadcasts for you. I was in Griswold for the Corner Conference Tournament. Ryan Matheny was in Council Bluffs for a big one of the Hawkeye 10 between Lewis Central and Kemper. We're going to check out the interviews from those games. You can also watch those at KMAland.com, but if you're watching right now, you can see those. When we come back, we'll have the second half of Underwood Treynor on the KMA video stream.
You know, we came into this match knowing it was going to be a good one. Like, Kemper's an awesome team. Like, they stayed in it defensively and really tested our offense. So, like, we made sure to stay in it mentally and really fight through the closeness of the match.
That fourth set, the way it ended was crazy, 30-20 or 31-29. You know, what was kind of just going through your head as that fourth set kind of came down to the end?
I was personally thinking, like, this is exactly where we want to be. Like, embrace that pressure because, you know, come postseason, we're going to have tight matches like that. So being able to pull out on top in those close matches are huge.
This win puts you guys in the driver's seat for a Hawkeye 10 conference crown. How much does that mean to you guys?
It's awesome. You know, we've been really close the past couple of years, either a tie or second place, and, you know, to get it this year, it'd be awesome.
You know, we're getting down to the stretch run of the season. How do you feel you guys are playing at this point as, you know, we're only a couple weeks away from postseason volleyball?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I'm really proud of our team. We play really well together, and coming into the postseason, it's super exciting to see us playing a high-level volleyball. So I'm really proud of our team and how we're playing, and I think we can get even better.
Just a privilege to be able to see it. What a battle, huh? I mean, you got two excellent quality high school teams battling it out for a conference win. I wouldn't have expected anything else between the two of us. Yeah. It was just fun to be part of.
Yeah. What do you think was ultimately the difference tonight? How were you guys able to come out on top?
Oh, I think there's a lot of things involved with that. It's not a simple answer. It'd be nice if I could give you a simple answer, but I really impressed with their mental ability tonight to stay focused when they needed it focused and to perform when they needed to perform under pressure. And to me, that was the difference.
Yeah. You know, kind of going along with that fourth set, you know, the pressure was big. You're in extra points there. How do you think your girls responded down that fourth set to come out on top?
Oh, the same way. I mean, you know, it was even when they had set point against us in the huddle, people were just talking about going in there, playing together, having good defense, communication, and to stay calm and breathe. And that is what they wanted to do. Throughout most of the night, we didn't really go in and change anything for our last couple of points. It was, this is what we do in the season. We want to go back to basics, trust your instincts on the basics, read the ball, and then know what you want to do with that read.
Here, Lauren Johnson and Leah Sandin after Stanton's Corner Conference Tournament win over Sydney. Ladies, I know it's been a while since the conference tournament went to Stanton. Lauren, we'll just start with you. What are the thoughts right now?
I think we just played a great game tonight. Just everything was there. We were all on key. We were having fun, and we just knew we wanted to bring home the trophy after 10 years.
Leah, what are your thoughts?
I think we started off a little rough, but we brought it together. We knew we were just a little jittery at the beginning, but we knew we wanted to win.
Yeah, set one, in a lot of ways kind of similar to the first time you guys played. They take it, and then you battle back and win the next three. What kind of flipped you think?
Our energy. We had to bring it, hype each other up every play.
Lauren, from your perspective, talk about what kind of changed in sets 2, 3, and 4.
I think we just knew we wanted to win bad. We knew we needed to just clean things up, turn things around, and our energy just came out.
Big night for you offensively. Take us through what you were seeing, what you were doing that created that success.
My teammates were just talking to me the whole time, telling me all the seams that were open, spots that were open. The back row was just great. Sets were great. Just the whole atmosphere was great tonight.
Any particular shots or any particular sets that you were getting that you really liked?
I really like it when my setters set me a 4 because I can just really get on top of the ball and I can just pound it down and see seams really well.
Leah, thoughts on your offensive performance tonight?
Well, they were talking to me in the back row. I knew I had line and sharp cross, so just trying to hit those angles.
You had the winner in set 2, I think set 3 as well. It seemed like every clutch point you were able to get down the stretch. Take us through that.
You know, it comes back to the passes and the sets. You just got to get them up and get a good hit and let your back row talk to you and tell you where to go.
This is a team that is playing some really good volleyball right now. What is kind of the secret behind that?
We work hard in practice and we push each other every day.
Lauren, they kind of hung around. Like, they would not go away. For you guys to persevere, where was kind of the difference tonight, you think?
I think we just knew we needed to work harder, better. We just have been working really hard in practice, and we just use that in games really well, and it turns out it works well.
Looking ahead, winning this tournament's awesome, right? But it's not the end goal. Obviously, there's bigger goals. How do you go about trying to achieve those?
Well, first of all, we need to just show up to practice and just give our all and just work really hard, and that will pay off in the end. Thank you.
All right, Coach. Wow, it's been 10 years since you guys won the conference tournament, but you do it tonight. Just what are the thoughts?
Oh, very excited. I mean, it is, we took the trophy home for 10 years in a row and lost it with our 14 group. They finished second that year to a very, very good Fremont Mills team, and to bring it back home, I mean, we're thrilled.
Set 1, they came out and were able to hold on, kind of similar to the first time you guys met. What was kind of the message going into set 2?
Well, we tend to be a little bit, our energy at the beginning of a game sometimes works against us. I mean, it's almost like we're just kind of pushing things too far. I mean, just kind of overdoing things. And we've talked a lot with the girls about that. But the thing with this group is they really don't ever get down. I mean, they might lose a set here and there, but they just turn it around and get right back in it. And I think our message in between sets was just be patient and calm down and, just really execute what we're supposed to be doing out there. And I think they turned around and did that.
Control set 2, and then set 4, they were down big and battle back and get it to 26. What was the difference in that set and set 3?
Sydney's a great team. I mean, you got to give them credit. This is the third time this week we've played them. And so, we knew from playing them Saturday that they weren't going to give us anything. You had to work for everything you get out there with them. And I think, the girls, I think they had some confidence, going into that, and they just held strong. I mean, they just held strong and worked together and stayed positive out there. That's what I love about this group. They always are positive. And I know it might look odd to people in the crowd sometimes. We don't take a lot of timeouts with them. We just kind of don't, because they work better like that. They just let them keep going, and they'll work themselves out of it. And that's what we let them do.
Offensively, what did you like tonight?
I like that we move things around. I mean, we have relied a lot on our outsides this season, but our middles were very involved tonight. Both of our setters, when they're on that right side, they both swing very well. And we just, we move things around, and I think that helps us. I mean, it kind of keeps other teams guessing on what we might do. And we have a young lady that comes in that front row, Kyla Franzine. The other night, Tuesday night, she played an outside, a middle, and a defensive specialist in the back row. So everybody needs kids like that on their team that can just get in and play anything. And I just like that we're pretty balanced, really.
Continuing to win, continuing to climb up the rankings as well. I know much coaches love talking about those. But as we move into October, what does it take for this team to get where it wants to be?
Oh, my goodness. It just takes a lot of hard work. We've got a lot of things that we need to clean up within the next couple of weeks. And it also it also takes a lot of just, remembering, like having your head where your feet are, not thinking ahead at all. And I will say this bunch, we don't talk about anything but the next game. Now tomorrow we'll practice in the morning and we'll talk about the tournament we're headed to on Saturday. We won't talk about anything else. And they do well with that. They do well with that. And so we just have to continue to improve and continue to play well together. I mean, that chemistry is huge. And I think our girls have it, and we just got to make sure they keep it.
Awesome. Thank you. Getting ready to begin the second half here in Treynor tonight. 35-zip. Underwood in control of this top 5 battle in Class 1A, Class 1A District 8. The Eagles have looked really good through the first 24 minutes of this. They'll get the ball to start the second half. First kickoff of the night for the Treynor special teams. Peter Young will kick it away, and that one drifting towards the sideline and out of bounds. We'll see how Underwood attacks this, up 35 to start the second half, and they are going to bring their starters onto the field for at least the opening drive, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see that.
No.
Just, they want to see what they can do with their starters, and Treynor's going to have to step up and figure out how to stop it.
So Underwood will start on their 35-yard line. In a pistol for Lutz. There's a toss. Nelson with a first down, trying to cut and gets wrestled down from behind by Emke. Nice gain by Nelson.
Now, the run was coming at us. It looked like it might have been a horse collar type of tackle, but he must have just had the back of the jersey and nothing else. He was actually fortunate to get a hold of him in the first place.
2nd and 6 now coming up for Underwood from their own 39. Here's a run, no gain. Joey Bittner gets the tackle.
I haven't seen as much defensive line substitution as I have in previous games. It's been Schwarty and Bittner and Robbins pretty much the whole night.
So 3rd down for Underwood. Running clock. A minute has gone by. And pass is caught by Ravlin. I'm seeing where the spot is.
I think he got just enough for the first down. Good route. Get behind the sticks and catch the ball.
So first down from Lutt to Ravlin. Gain of 7. To the 46-yard line. First drive of the second half for Underwood. Lutt wants to throw. He'll take a shot. Ravlin got by his defender, but it's overthrown. Incomplete pass. They were going for another big play.
Yeah, Ravlin, that touched his fingertips, but is just beyond his reach. Lutt, uncharacteristically not able to hit that open receiver. He's done it twice tonight.
So 2nd down and 10 coming up after the incomplete pass. Ten minutes and rolling left here in the third quarter. Here's a handoff. Nelson, nothing there. Big Joey Bittner slings him down to the turf.
I know Underwood's got their specialty starters in. I'm not sure if it's their starting line or not. I think it is.
Yeah, they've got, I see Max Tarks out there. So it'll be a 3rd and 10 coming up for Underwood from the 45-yard line. Trips left, 2 to the right. Lutt out of an empty backfield shotgun. Wanting to throw. He'll take a shot right side. Van Fossen hauls it in. Inside the 20.
Now this time Aaron Emke was trying to cover him from the outside linebacker spot. He had over coverage, but he wasn't able to quite disrupt the pass.
So the big play puts him inside Treynor territory. Now Nelson down inside the 5 to the 2 after the big play from Lutt to Van Fossen, right?
Yes. Van Fossen with that previous play catch. And then
down to the 18, then Nelson with the run. Down to the 2, gain of 16. Here's a handoff. Nelson, he falls into the end zone. Touchdown Underwood, and the Eagles strike. on their first drive of the second half, and they add to their lead. 41-0 our score.
Masters.
So 41-0 our score.
Clock will stop for point afters and timeouts only, I think.
Yes, that'll be the only time it stops. Bayshore to kick, and he is a perfect 6 for 6 on the night. 42-0 our score here on the KMA video stream.
Investors' goals are unique. Some wish to build wealth. For others, it might be early retirement or maybe just wanting a comfortable financial situation. Whatever your goals may be, there is a team ready to work for you. Alec Murphy and John Brocker are Brocker Wealth Management, and they offer a comprehensive, thorough process to help you get started on your financial objectives. Brocker Wealth Management.
I'm Alec Murphy, partner and financial advisor at Brocker Wealth Management, located in Council Bluffs, 712-256-7252.
42-0 advantage Underwood here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader with you on the KMA video stream alongside Keith Christensen.
That might be the last of the Underwood starters. You know, you get to a point where you don't want to get anybody hurt unnecessarily, at least on the offensive side of the ball. We'll see what they bring out for the defense.
So Bayshore will kick it away. Kind of a short kick. Caleb Cooper, the tight end, fields it. Oh, check that. That's not Cooper. That is Bradley Stock who fields it.
Kind of backing up, caught it up above his head, and then stumbled as he was trying to come forward.
So Treynor will start this drive on the 25. Here's a handoff to Sorensen. Ball's on the ground. Cooper got to it.
That was Jaden Kilabarda.
Underwood's defense, I mean, their offense obviously gets a lot of pub, right, with the weapons they've got with Boothby and Ravlin and Van Fossen and obviously Ludd and Nelson, but their defense has been really good, not just tonight, but throughout the year. 2nd and 14. Here's a quick pass right side. Tams for a short gain. It'll be 3rd and long coming up.
Good kick out block by Aaron Emke there, allowing Tams to get a little bit more yardage on the play. But they had the negative yardage play prior, so
3rd and 10 coming up for Treynor. They'll flank a running back out of the backfield. Here's Casey wanting to throw. Left side too tall for Caleb Cooper, and it'll be 4th down.
Cooper coming across a deep crossing route. Play took a little bit to develop. Injured Underwood player on the field. Incomplete pass, 4th and 10.
So an injured Eagle will step aside here, the KMA video stream.
Here it is. This is where my passion is my major.
With more than 80 areas of study, dozens of clubs and activities to choose from, and advisors who ask the right questions and offer support, it's easy to be you at Iowa Western.
The Cattle Drive food truck based in Council Bluffs is a family-owned and operated business with a mission of providing you with great food and friendly service. Follow Cattle Drive CB on Twitter and the Cattle Drive on Facebook to keep track of where you can get the most succulent steak sandwich around. Cattle Drive is now offering catering too. No job is too big or too small, so call 402-290-9818 or check them out online at cattledrivecb.com. The Cattle Drive, where you are the #1 stakeholder.
42-0. Underwood leading Treynor. 6:32 to go here in the third. Underwood in control. Aaron Emke, high snap on the punt, gets it away. Boothby muffed it at the 40. Tams picks it up, steps out of bounds, and Treynor will have the ball for the first time tonight in Underwood territory at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Boothby called for the fair catch, and then he tried to catch it out away from his body and just kind of tapped it to Tams, and Tams wasn't quite sure that was going to happen, and so he ended up picking up the ball and getting a couple of yards before he ended up stepping out of bounds.
So here's a run on first down. Jet Sorensen with a nice gain.
A good strong run just over the left side.
So Sorensen will make it second short. One of the few positive plays Treynor's had of the ground game tonight. Already under 6 minutes to go in the third. Here's another run. Sorensen didn't get anything. I got a yard or so before he stood up.
Yeah, the defensive line was able to find him, grab a hold of him this time. No gain on that play.
So 3rd and 1. Coming up for Underwood. Trips to the right. There's a handoff. Sorensen. I don't know that he got the first down. We'll wait for the spot. The spot looks like he did get it. And they will take a timeout for measurement. One thing that Brian Bertini and I talked about last week when we did Glenwood Lewis Central, you don't see a lot of measurements anymore. You know, we've seen 2 tonight, but I think those are like the first 2 I've seen. You actually won't get a measurement.
No, they're
just
going to
say it's short.
Down.
Here's a pass out of the backfield. It's caught by Tams on the right side. I think he got the first down.
Yeah, 3 yards or so. Peter Young, I think, on the catch.
Yeah, so Young gets the catch. Treynor trying to take advantage of the short field. Casey, again, quick pass out of the backfield, incomplete. Trying to go to the tight end, Caleb Cooper. Clock continuing to run. Under 4 minutes to go in the half, or in the third, rather.
That was a tough throw. Casey looking to his left. Had Caleb Cooper out in the flat with a quick out pass and just couldn't quite get it to him.
3.5 to go in the third. Shotgun look. He'll flank a running back out. Casey wanting to throw, rolling right, and just finally cuts bait and throws it away. It'll be 3rd down.
Kind of a misdirection. They brought Jet Sorensen in motion to the near side of the field. Casey looked him off and then was going down field for, I believe it was Tams, or it might have been Young. And he was covered, so there was nowhere to go with it. He had to throw it away.
Treynor had just 58 yards of offense in the half. They have moved the ball a little bit on this drive, although they did start with good field position after the fumbled punt, and we get a stoppage and a whistle. And it looks like a penalty. And it'll be offsides on Underwood.
That's unusual so far before the snap. They must have been lined up offsides.
Yeah. So now 3rd and 5 coming up for Treynor from the 24. Casey out of a shotgun will put Cooper in motion left to right. Pressure was coming. That was Max check that, Graham Jensen, who brought the pressure on the blitz. Casey throws it away, and it'll be 4th down coming up for Treynor.
Yeah, Underwood had 9 guys in the box, and everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Now a flag comes out late.
So we'll check the marker. Looks like it will be against Treynor.
can only think of unsportsmanlike conduct at this point.
Yeah, they're backing up, and I mean, if you're Underwood, the only way you're accepting that penalty is if it's one. Oh, intentional grounding's going to be okay. Casey threw it away.
Didn't get it past the line of scrimmage and was in the tackle box. So that was the discussion of the officials, and then they just ultimately decided that it was intentional grounding.
Fourth and very long, fourth and about 23 coming up from the Underwood 43. Casey wants to throw a little shoulder fake, takes a shot downfield to Elwood. Almost intercepted. Two defenders there. Mason Boothby broke it up. And Underwood's going to start this next drive on their own 43-yard line. So the only time Treynor has got into enemy territory tonight comes up empty, down to 90 seconds to go in this quarter.
Yeah, unfortunately, Treynor was unable to take advantage of the shorter field that they were granted on the fumbled punt.
So a minute 15 to go in the quarter, and Underwood looks like with some new faces out there, save for Lutz still at quarterback. They give to Jensen. Gets a yard or two out of that.
Yeah, the middle linebacker, Minahan, came in, was able to get in on that tackle as well.
Down under a minute to go here in the quarter. Underwood with a 2nd and 9 from the 44. They will give it to Boothby. Boothby trying to get right side, gets to midfield before being spun out of bounds. That might be the final play of the quarter. And third down coming up for Underwood. So 3rd and 3, 10 seconds left in the quarter. Looking over the sideline, they do not look like they want to take another snap in this frame, and they will not. So quick moving third will go to the 4th. Underwood in control, up 42-0 here on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com.
It's easier than ever to find the live stream for your team now on FullerDigital.net. Home and away, if we're covering your team's videos are on FullerDigital.net. Just click on your school and you'll find the game. Thank you for watching our events, and remember, the games are on FullerDigital.net.
Judd Knispel at State Farm Insurance has over 23 years State Farm experience, and he wants to protect what's important to you. Their centrally located office has team members that have over 20 years of experience in the industry, and being in Iowa right on the border has allowed them to be able to serve both Iowa and Nebraska. For auto, home, property, business, life, and health, visit with Judd Knispel today at Judd Knispel Insurance Agency, your State Farm insurance agent in Council Bluffs.
On to the 4th here in Treynor. Underwood in control, up 42-0. They've got a 3rd and 3 from midfield. Coming up to start the 4th and final quarter. The Eagles have been dominant tonight in every way imaginable. Here's a handoff to Graham Jensen. We'll have to check the spot, but it looks like he's got a first down. So it looks like Underwood going to take sole control of first place in 1A District 8. Now, tonight doesn't by any means clinch it for him, and actually they're going to say Jensen about a yard short, so it'll be 4th and 1 from the Treynor 48, and we'll see. Looks like Underwood going to go for it. Early stages of the 4th quarter. Lutt looks over to the sideline. Might be trying to draw him off sides of the hard count. And here's a handoff. Don't think he got it.
They got it.
The Treynor's defense gets the stop. On the run by Maddox Nelson, so no gain for him. Treynor will take over on their own 48, as I was saying. So Underwood will stay unbeaten in the district. Now their next two games are Red Oak and Missouri Valley, Missouri Valley then Red Oak on the outside looking in right now of the playoff picture. So they're going to be heavily favored in both of those. Treynor's got Shenandoah next week, who, by the way, is up 31-12 on Red Oak going into the fourth quarter, and then Missouri Valley, who's yet to win a district game. So Underwood, if they take care of business over the next couple weeks, they're going to have the 1 seed. They're going to get a host in the first round and have a path to the Dome, as there's a run for a loss by Treynor with Jet Sorensen on the carry. Loss of about a yard or two.
Yeah, that home field advantage early in the playoffs picture is really a plus when you don't have to travel, because the geographics they try to keep it fairly good, but sometimes it could be a travel.
It's really, really hard when there's not a lot of schools on the western side of the state, and if there are, they're on the northwest side. Here's Casey trying to take a shot to Elwood, overthrows him.
Had a window for Casey or for Elwood there, but it just barely overthrew him.
Top two finishers in this district, by the way, will get a host. Seeds 3 and 4 will have to go on the road. Now, if these results from tonight would stand, it would be Underwood is the 1, Treynor is the 2. Shenandoah's got a couple of big matchups coming up. They've got Treynor and HSTW still left on the calendar. Here's Casey rolling right, incomplete, out of the outstretched arms of Aaron Emke. And it's 4th and 12 coming up for Treynor with 9:15 to go. Treynor's offense tonight, 73 total yards.
That's uncharacteristic of the Cardinals. They just really have not been able to get either the run or the pass game going the entire night. Underwood's defensive line has been able to blow up a lot of those plays in the backfield, and there's been a lot of negative plays on Treynor's part.
Under 9 to go in this one, and Treynor's had the ball in Underwood territory just one time tonight, and that came off a fumbled punt by Underwood. Casey rolling right, dumps it to Emke, incomplete. Ravlin was in coverage, and it's a turnover on downs.
That was more or less a forced pass. Emke really wasn't open, didn't have good separation from the defender, and was running out of real estate towards the sideline.
So we mentioned coming into tonight that Treynor had been outscored by Underwood 141-0 in the last 3 games. One thing I just noticed, Keith, looking over at the student section, they keep updating it as it goes along. Creative, I guess. I'll give them that.
Creative.
Here's a handoff to Nelson. He'll have the first down, still on his feet, inside the 40 to the 33. Bradley Stock slow to get up for Treynor. As might be just trying to work out a cramp. So a gain of 13 on first down for Nelson, and Underwood now offensively on the night over 400 yards. We'll get a stoppage of play. We'll take a break on the KMA video stream.
McIntosh Plumbing, Council Bluffs is here for all your plumbing needs. We'll keep the water working, and no job is too big or too small. McIntosh Plumbing guarantees their work, and they are available 24/7. Find them online or call today. McIntosh Plumbing, Council Bluffs.
$7:52 to go in this one, 42-0. Underwood on top of Treynor. As the running clock will resume out of the injury stoppage. Underwood's kept their starters out for this drive. Lutt will hand it off. Nelson, nice run again inside the 20 before being brought down from behind. So Maddox Nelson to the 18-yard line, gain of 15. Get the stat total on Nelson. He's got to be he's well over 100 yards, 121 yards tonight. So we approach 7 minutes to go. Lutt will hand off Jensen. Jensen breaks out of a tackle inside the 10 to the 7. Graham Jensen with an 11-yard gain.
Underwood trying the outside now for their run game and having a little bit of success out there too, because those defensive linebackers and defensive backs have to pay attention to the receivers that are going out on their routes.
Underwood trying to pitch their third shutout of the year. They shut out St. Albert. They shut out Shenandoah. And their lone loss came to Van Meter, the two-time defending state champion. And here's a run up the middle inside the 5-yard line by Graham Jensen. So Jensen gets about 3 to the 4. This game down under 6 minutes to go. Treynor will travel to Shenandoah next week. Lutz will be in a shotgun. Jensen to his left. There's a handoff. Jensen, he's into the end zone, I think. He is.
Yes,
touchdown Underwood, and they add to their lead. It's 48-0. And that live 4-game scoreboard will, I imagine, be updated. Gus Bayshore will come on to kick the PAT. He is 6 for 6 tonight. Raveling to hold. And that kick is good. 49-0 Underwood with 5:24 to go here in the KMA video stream.
Minky Auction and Realty of Treynor specializes in the marketing and sale of farmland, acreages, residential and commercial properties at auction or traditional listings. Talk with Byron Minky if you need help deciding whether to list your property or sell it at public auction. Byron is the broker owner of Minky Auction and Realty with 10 licensed agents serving all of southwest Iowa and southeast Nebraska. They've conducted hundreds of personal property auctions. Visit minkyauction.com or call 712-487-3542.
5:24 left in this one. Underwood's lead now 49-0.
Underwood student section and cheerleaders doing some jumping jack action to match what I believe the score is.
They're getting a workout then.
They are.
I hope they were doing the 49 and not the 190 or whatever that they had. Bayshore will kick away. And a whistle and an offside. Looks like that's like the second or third time Underwood's had that happen tonight on a kickoff.
Yeah, at least 2. I can remember recalling that it didn't seem like that was going to make much of a difference as far as the ball traveling into the end zone.
So they will re-kick it from 5 yards back. Again, Treynor's had just one drive in enemy territory tonight, and that came because of a fumbled punt where they recovered it in Underwood territory. I mean, I know, coaches will never say there's like such thing as a perfect game or anything, right? But I mean, if you're Underwood and Coach Nate McKelson, you got to feel like you've played pretty close to perfect against a team that, top 5 team in the state coming in tonight, probably still a top 10 team, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
Bayshore will kick it away again. And that kick drifting towards the sideline will be in play at the 20. Tams on the return to the 27. And that'll be where Treynor begins this next drive. 5:14 and rolling left here in this one.
One thing the era of huddle has done is allowed other teams that are possibly playoff contenders to watch some of this video tonight and see what they're going to ultimately have to do to try to stop Underwood.
And that's a question that I think right now about every Class 1A coach in the state is asking themselves and would love to figure out. But it's easier said than done. Here's a handoff for Treynor, maybe a yard or so. The only team ranked ahead of Underwood in the 1A KMA Sports State rankings, Grundy Center, who has looked pretty good so far this year as well. That was Drew Myers on the run for Treynor. Down to just over 4 minutes to go in this one. Casey pass over the middle, almost intercepted. It was off the hands of Tams. Easton Robertson was playing behind and almost got the pick.
There's been some throws that Ben Casey has been a little off on tonight, just beyond the fingertips and such, but there's been 3 or 4 now that I can count where the receivers have had it in their hands and just were unable to come down with the ball. Would have eventually represented good gains on plays.
So on third down, loose ball on the snap. Casey will just jump on it back at the 15-yard line. And I would imagine that'll bring the punting unit onto the field. On a 4th and very long, coming up for Treynor.
Emke's going to have to kick a good one to get it back into Underwood territory.
Alex Nelson coming off the edge, trying to get the block. That was one of the higher punts I think I've seen in a long time. And it'll take a Treynor roll down to the 31-yard line and be downed there. Clock will continue to run down under 3 minutes to go in this one. Other scores from around the area time. I mentioned Red Oak and Shenandoah. Shenandoah was up comfortably. How about the job that they've done? I mean, this is a team that, this time last year, they were canceling their season.
Yeah, not enough players available.
Yeah, they lost 94-0 in a game on, this night a year ago. And now, I mean, they're going to be at 500 and likely in the playoffs.
Treynor travels there next week.
Yes.
They, it's going to be kind of a interesting dynamic coming off of a game like this one. They're going to have to be mentally tough to go back in and reset, forget about this game, and get ready for the next 2 contests.
2 minutes to go in this one. Underwood will have it on their own 31. It looks like they have pulled the starters. There's a run, nice run for about 7 yards. So down to 2 minutes to go. Meanwhile, Underwood will get Missouri Valley next week. Lucas Bose was the ball carrier for Underwood on that touch. And then they will end the year going to Red Oak. So that was a gain of 4 for Bose. Down to 90 seconds left in this one. Underwood going to milk that play clock all the way down. Down to 1:20 to go. There's another handoff. Nothing there. That was Dane DeVault on the run. By the way, it looks like Cademan Stevens playing quarterback for Underwood right now. And actually, say a loss of a yard. Down to the final minute of this one. And Underwood, I don't know that many, definitely not many on the Treynor side saw this coming. But a very impressive showing for Underwood tonight. Maybe a little bit of a statement showing as well, not just to their district and stuff, but also maybe to the state.
Yeah, absolutely. They showed every bit of their number 2 ranking in the state, without a doubt, tonight with this dominant win over the number 5 Treynor Cardinals.
So down to a knee goes Underwood, and that's how this one will end. 49-0, our final here tonight on the KMA video stream. Keith Christensen, your thoughts?
Well, like I said, Treynor's going to have to kind of just forget this game, reset, come back and play the last 2 regular season games in preparation for a playoff run. They're going to have to make sure they get their players back well. You know, we had players back on the field tonight that I think were cleared to play, perhaps maybe not entirely ready to play at times. Underwood, on the other hand, just dominant on both sides of the ball. And they're going to be a tough one to handle the rest of the way.
So Underwood now 5-1 of the year, still unbeaten in district play. Treynor drops to 5-1 of the year, 1 loss in district play. We'll tell you all about this game later on tonight at KMAland.com. You listen to high school football on the KMA video stream. For Keith Christensen and Trevor Mader, for Keith Christensen and KMA Sports, I'm Trevor Mader. Thanks for listening, and have a great night.